My dear countrymen, generally speaking, I touch upon varied subjects in Mann Ki Baat, but today, the foremost concern in everyone's mind in the country and all over the world is the catastrophic Corona global pandemic. Amidst that, it will not be appropriate on my part to reflect on anything else. But first of all, I extend a heartfelt apology to all countrymen. And I strongly feel from the core of my heart that you will forgive me. Since certain decisions had to be taken, resulting in myriad hardships for you. And when it comes to my underprivileged brothers and sisters, they must be wondering on the kind of Prime Minister they have, who has pushed them to the brink. My wholehearted apologies, especially to them. It is possible that many are annoyed with me for their confinement in their homes. I fully understand your situation. I can feel what you're going through. But in order to battle Corona in a country of 130 crore people such as India, there was no other option. The fight against Corona is one between life and death itself. We have to win. And that is why such strong measures had to be resorted to. No one wants to go that way. Looking at what the world is going through, this was the only way left. After all, the safety of you and your families has to be ensured. Once again, I apologize for any inconvenience, any hardship caused to you. Friends, we have an adage, Evam evam vikar, api tarunna sadhyate sukham, which means an illness and its scourge should be nipped in the bud itself. Later, when it becomes incurable, its treatment is very difficult. And today, the whole of India, every Indian is doing just that. Brothers, sisters, mothers and the elderly, coronavirus has incarcerated the world. It is posing a challenge to knowledge, science, the rich and the poor, the strong and the weak alike. It is not confined to any nation's borders, nor does it make distinction of region or season. This virus has, in a way, obstinately picked up the gauntlet to annihilate the human race. And that is why humankind will have to rise unitedly in the resolve to exterminate it. Some may feel that by complying with the lockdown, they are helping others. This is a misconception. The lockdown is a means to protect yourself. You have to protect yourself and your family. For the next many days, you have to continue displaying this patience. Abide by the Lakshman Rekha. Friends, I know that no one wants to overstep the law and break rules willfully, but there are some who are doing so, since they are not trying to understand the gravity of the matter. To them I will say that if they don't comply with the lockdown rule, it will be difficult to save ourselves from the scourge of the coronavirus. The world over, many people nurse this delusion. All of them are regretting now. Friends, we are familiar with our adage, Arogyam param bhagyam, swasthyam sarvartha sadhanam, which means good health is the greatest fortune. Health is the only way to happiness in the world. In that backdrop, those breaking the rules are playing with their lives. Friends, in this war, there are many soldiers who are fighting the coronavirus, not in the confines of their homes, but outside their homes. These are our frontline soldiers, especially our brothers and sisters on duty as nurses, doctors and paramedical staff. These are people who have defeated Corona. Today, we shall draw inspiration from them. During the course of the last few days, I spoke to a few such people over the phone, boosting their zeal, in turn raising my own enthusiasm too. I've learnt a lot from them. It was my earnest desire to share with you excerpts of the conversation I had with them in Mann Ki Baat. The first to join us is Shri Ramagampa Teja ji. He happens to be an IT professional. Let's listen to his experiences. Yes, Ram.
Namaste ji.
Yes, Ram, namaste.
Namaste, namaste.
I've come to know that you have freed yourself from the clutches of the coronavirus.
Yes,
I wanted to talk to you. Since you have just come out of the danger zone, I wanted to listen to your experience.
I am an employee of the IT sector. I had gone to Dubai for work for meetings. It just happened willy-nilly. On my return, it began with a fever. After 4 or 5 days, doctors conducted a test for coronavirus. It turned out positive. I was admitted to Gandhi Hospital, Government Hospital Hyderabad, where I recovered after 14 days and was discharged. All this was a bit scary.
You mean when you came to know of the infection,
Yes,
and did you know earlier that virus was dangerous and could put you in trouble?
yes.
So when it happened to you, what was your immediate response?
First, I was very scared, not ready to believe that it had happened. And how? Because in India, there were only 2 or 3 cases. I didn't know anything about it. When I was admitted to the hospital, they kept me in a quarantine. The first 2-3 days passed just like that. But the doctors and nurses there,
Yes?
they were very nice to me. They would call me up and talk to me and give me confidence that nothing will happen. I would be okay. They kept on saying. Twice or thrice a day, doctors would speak to me. Nurses too. So first I was afraid, but later I felt I was with very good people who knew what to do. I felt I would get better.
How were family members feeling?
When I was admitted to the hospital, everyone was under stress. Media also created some problem there. Everyone's attention was drawn to it. But yes, first they all had to undergo a test. The result was negative, which was the biggest blessing for us, for our family and all those around me. After that, there was improvement each day. Doctors were talking to me and informing family too.
What precautions did you take? And what precautions were there for family?
When the family first came to know, I was in quarantine. But even after quarantine, doctors told me to stay at home for 14 days. House quarantine for myself in my room. So even after coming home, I am at home mostly in my room, wearing a mask the whole day. When I come out for food, hand washing is most important.
Fine, Ram. You've returned to good health. Good wishes to you and family.
Thank you.
But I want this experience of yours.
Yes.
You are from the IT profession.
Yes.
So make an audio and
Yes.
share it with people. Make it viral on social media. What will happen is people will not be scared, and at the same time, points on adequate care and preventive measures will easily reach people.
Yes, when I came out, I saw people feeling that being in quarantine is like being in a jail. It is not like that. Everyone should know that government quarantine is for their sake, for their families. On that, I would like to ask maximum people to get the test done and not be afraid of quarantine. There should be no stigma attached to being on quarantine.
Fine, Ram. Many good wishes to you.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank you, Bhaiya. Thanks a lot.
thank you.
Friends, as Ram said, he followed doctor's instructions fully when suspected of having corona. And as a result, he is leading a healthy, normal life today. Another friend who has defeated corona is joining us now. His entire family had come under the clasp of this scourge, including a teenage son. Come, let us speak to Shriman Ashok Kapoor from Agra. Ashok ji, namaste.
Namaskar ji. I am lucky to be talking to you.
Fine, I'm fortunate too. I called you up since your entire family had to bear the brunt.
Ji ji.
I would certainly like to know as to how this infection was diagnosed. What had happened? What happened in the hospital? So that, after listening to you, if something important is to be conveyed to countrymen, I can use that.
Absolutely, sir. I have two sons. They had gone to Italy to attend a shoe fair. We run a factory here, manufacturing shoes.
Yes,
When they returned from Italy,
yes.
our son-in-law too had gone there. He stays in Delhi. Feeling a health problem, he went to Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital.
Okay,
They said it was positive. They shifted him to Safdarjung.
yes.
They called us up asking both my sons to get tested since they had been with him. Both sons went to Agra District Hospital. There they were asked to call family members also, just for a check. Ultimately, all of us went there. The next day, they confirmed 6 of us positive. Both my sons, myself, my wife, my son's wife, and my 16-year-old grandson. By the way, I am 73. I was told to take all of them to Delhi.
Oh my God.
But we didn't fear. We thought it was good we came to know. We went to Safdarjung Hospital, Delhi. The Agra doctors provided us with 2 ambulances and we were not charged for that. We are grateful to them and the administration for the efforts and cooperation.
You came in an ambulance?
Yes, we were seated normally inside. Doctors accompanied us till Safdarjung Hospital, where their doctors were waiting at the gate. They shifted us to a ward. All 6 of us had separate rooms. The rooms were good, had everything. And then, sir, we stayed at the hospital alone for 14 days. And as far as doctors are concerned, they were very helpful and treated us well. Same for the staff. Sir, actually, when they used to enter wearing their dress, one could not make out if it was a doctor or a ward boy or a nurse. We would obey their instructions fully. There we did not face even 1% problem.
You come across as someone with immense self-confidence.
Sir, I am perfect. Yes, I have earlier undergone a knee surgery also. Even then, I am perfect.
No, but since your entire family went through a bad time, including the young 16-year-old...
And sir, it was time for his ICSE papers. We said no, that can be thought of later. If life stays on, all papers will be managed. Not to worry.
That is true. Your experience in life came to be of use in this crisis and imparted confidence as well as courage to the entire family.
Yes, we all went there, the entire family. We supported each other and though we did not meet, we could talk on the phone. We wouldn't meet but the doctors took complete care of us to the maximum extent possible. We are grateful to them for their compassion. The staff nurses took full care of us.
Let me extend my best wishes to you and your entire family.
Thank you, Ji. Thanks. We are all very happy that I have spoken to you.
No, it's a pleasure for us.
Even then, sir, I speak for all of us. If it is needed to go anywhere to spread awareness or to do something, we are ready at all the times.
No, in your own way, do it in Agra. If someone is hungry, feed him. Be empathetic to the poor and follow the rules. You must explain to the people that your family was in the clutches of this disease, but you managed to save your family by following the rules. If everyone follows the rules, then the country too will be saved.
We, sir, Modi sir, we have shot our videos and sent them to the TV channels.
Good.
The channels have also telecast them so awareness can be spread in people and...
This should be streamed in social media also, so they become popular.
Yes. And in our colony where we live, it is a neat and clean colony. we have told everyone that, look, we have come back from quarantine, so do not be afraid. If anyone has a health scare, go and get it tested. And those who met us should also get their tests done and remain protected by the mercy of God. Yes, sir.
All right. I wish everyone all the best. Friends, we pray for the long life of Ashokji and his entire family. As he mentioned, without panicking, following the right steps on time, contacting doctors on time, without getting afraid, and by taking proper precautions, we can defeat this pandemic. Friends, to know the capability with which we are dealing with this pandemic at the medical level, I also spoke to some doctors who are leading the front line in this battle. Their daily activity is synchronous with that of their patients. We are now joined by Dr. Nitesh Gupta from Delhi. Hello, doctor.
Hello, sir.
Namaste, Nitesh ji. You are right there on the front. So I want to know what is the mood of the rest of your colleagues in the hospitals. Tell us, how is it?
Everyone's mood is upbeat. Your blessings are with everyone. Whatever cause you are supporting in the given hospital or whatever we are asking for in line of treatment, you are providing it all. So we are engaged in exactly the same way, just like the army battles on the border. And our only duty is to get the patient back home after being cured.
You are right. This is a warlike situation and you're all managing a front line.
Yes, sir.
You must also be counseling the patient along with this treatment.
Yes, sir, that is the most important thing because the patient gets traumatized upon hearing what is happening with him. They have to be explained that there is nothing to fear and post-quarantine lasting 14 days, he will be fine and return home for sure. So far, we have managed to send 16 such patients back home.
So what comes across overall when you converse with such scared patients? Are they plagued by worries?
They think mostly about what will happen next, what will happen now. It is because what they witness in the outside world with morbid mortality rates and wonder if the same will happen to them. So we explain to them which one of their afflictions will be cured during a particular time frame. We counsel them that their case is very mild, akin to a case with a common cold. And since one gets well in 5-7 days, they too will be fine after a similar period of convalescence. Then we will tell them that after tests which are bound to report as negative and then they can be sent home. So that's why we visit them repeatedly after intervals of 2, 3, 4 hours. We meet them, ask about their well-being. They also feel comfortable throughout the day.
So they have their confidence restored after being scared initially?
Initially, they are scared, but when we have counseled and by the second or third day, when they start recovering, they also start believing that they can be cured.
But do all the doctors are imbued with the feeling that the work of rendering the greatest service in their lives has to be shouldered by them? Is this emotion shared by all of them?
Yes, it is. We keep our team motivated to the utmost extent that there is nothing to fear and there is no such thing that we should fear. If we observe precautions thoroughly and explain these precautions to the patient that he is to follow, then everything will be fine.
Okay, doctor, a large number of patients come to you and you're absolutely devoted to their cause. It was nice talking to you. But in this battle, I am with you. Keep on fighting.
We seek your blessings. This is what we wish.
Many good wishes, Bhaiya.
Sir, thank you.
Nitesh ji, plenty of plaudits to you. Due to efforts of people like you, India will surely achieve victory in the battle against Corona. I urge you to take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. Take care of your family. The world's experience tells us that in this illness, the number of patients infected with it suddenly grows exponentially. On account of this sudden rise, We've seen the best health systems crumble in foreign countries. In order to ensure that India does not have to face such a situation, we have to keep trying ceaselessly. Another doctor joins us from Pune, Shriman Dr. Borse. Namaste, doctor.
Namaste, namaste.
You are working relentlessly in the true spirit of service to mankind is service to God. I want to speak to you today on something that will be a message for our countrymen. Firstly, a question that strikes the minds of many is when to contact doctors and when to go for the corona test. As a doctor, you've dedicated yourself completely in the service of patients. Your words carry weight. I want to hear it from you.
Sir, I am a professor at BJ Medical College, Pune. And in Pune, there is a municipal corporation hospital named Naidu Hospital. It has a fully functional screening center since January 2020. Here till date, 16 COVID-19 positive cases have been diagnosed. And out of those 16 cases, after due quarantine, isolation and treatment, 7 patients have been discharged, sir. And the remaining 9 cases are also very stable and doing well. Despite the virus being inside their bodies, they are getting well. They are recovering out of the coronavirus. Here the sample size is tiny, sir, only 16 cases. But cases of the young population getting affected are coming to light. And despite that, the disease itself is not that serious a disease. It's a mild disease and patients are successfully recovering. And those remaining 9 people are also going to be well. They are not going to deteriorate. We are keeping a watch on them on a daily basis. They are also going to be well in another 4 or 5 days. From people who come here as suspects, international travelers and those who come into contact with them, we take a swab, oropharyngeal and nasal. If the nasal swab report is positive, the patient is being admitted to the positive ward. If negative, we advise the patient on home quarantine. How it is to be done at home, after this advice, they are sent home.
What do you explain to them? While at home, what aspects do you elucidate to them?
Sir, even if one stays at home, one has to stay quarantined there. Observing a 6 feet distance is mandatory. Secondly, one has to use a mask and wash hands very frequently. If you do not have sanitization, you can use simple soap and water to wash hands. But you have to keep doing it frequently. And while coughing or sneezing, use a simple handkerchief to cough on, so that droplets are not able to spread nor fall on the floor, thus preventing hand contact and further spread. We explain this, sir. The second thing is when they are supposed to be in a home quarantine, they are not supposed to leave home at all. During the current lockdown, they ought to be home quarantined properly for a minimum of 14 days. We are informing them. This is our message to them, sir.
Fine, doctor. You're doing a great service and with selfless dedication. Your entire team is at work. I firmly believe that all our patients there return home safely. We shall win this battle. It will be victory for the country. With the help from all of you.
Sir, we believe we shall overcome. We shall win this battle.
Doctor, many good wishes to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Friends, all these people, all these friends are persevering to the best extent possible to chase out this scourge. What they tell us is not just for us to listen to. It is to be practiced in life in the truest spirit. Today, when I witness the sacrifice, perseverance and dedication on part of doctors, I am reminded of the touching words of Acharya Charak while referring to doctors. And it is so visible in doctors' lives today. Acharya Charak had said, Na atmarthan, na api kamarthan, atabhuta dayam prati, vartate yat chikitsyam, sa savarma iti vartate. Which means, the one who strives for his patient's well-being in the spirit of service and compassion, with no desire, monetary or otherwise, is the greatest doctor. Friends, today I salute the embodiment of humanity, the nurse. The selfless spirit of service with which you perform your duty is beyond compare. It's a coincidence that the world is celebrating year 2020 as the International Year of the Nurse and Midwife. This goes back to 200 years ago, that is 1820, the year that is associated with the birth of Florence Nightingale, who lent a new identity, a new paradigm to the term service to humanity and the field of nursing, taking it to newer heights. Dedicated to the spirit of service of every nurse in the world, this year has come as a challenging examination for the entire nursing community. I believe all of you will not only clear the exam successfully, you will also save many lives. We are able to fight a battle on such a massive scale only on account of the zeal and grit of frontline warriors like you. Be you a doctor, a nurse, a paramedic, an ASHA, an A&M worker, sanitation worker, the country is also concerned about your health. Keeping that in mind, for around 20 lakh colleagues from these fields, the government has announced a health insurance cover of up to rupees 50 lakhs, so that in this battle you can lead the country with greater self-confidence. My dear countrymen, in this battle against coronavirus, we have many examples of real heroes in the society. People who are at the forefront even in these conditions. On the Narendra Modi app, the Namo app, Niranjan Sudhakar Hebbale of Bengaluru has written that such people are daily life heroes. And that is quite right too. These are people due to whom our daily life runs smoothly. Just imagine if the water in your taps runs dry for just a day, or there is a sudden power outage in your house. At that time, it is these daily life heroes who banish our troubles. Think about the small retail store in your neighborhood. In these troubled times, he too is taking a great risk. After all, for whom? Isn't it because he wants to ensure that you do not face any difficulty in buying essential goods? Similar to that, think about those drivers and workers who are continuing to work ceaselessly so that the nation's supply chain of essential goods is not disrupted. You might have noticed that the government has kept the banking services open, and those working in the banking sector are there at your service with full commitment and dedication, leading us in this fight. These services are not trivial at a time like this. We cannot thank these bank personnel enough for their service. Many of our friends are engaged with e-commerce companies as delivery personnel. These people are continuing delivering grocery even in these trying times. Just think, as you watch television during this lockdown, using the phone and internet even while being homebound, someone is working hard to ensure that these services continue uninterrupted. During this time, many of you are able to make digital payments with ease. Many people are working hard to facilitate that. These are the people who are bearing the burden of the country's work during this lockdown. On behalf of all countrymen, today I wish to express my gratitude to all these people and request them that they follow all the safety precautions, take care of themselves and their family members. My dear countrymen, I've come to know of some instances that some of those people who were suspected to have coronavirus and asked to stay in home quarantine are being ill-treated by others. I am greatly pained to learn of these instances. This is very unfortunate. We need to understand that in the current circumstances, we need to ensure social distance, not human or emotional distance. These people are not criminals. They are merely suspected to be infected with the virus. These people have isolated and quarantined themselves to protect other people from getting infected. At many places, people have taken their responsibilities very seriously. They have quarantined themselves even when they were asymptomatic. They did so because they had travelled abroad recently and were being doubly cautious. They wanted to ensure that nobody else got infected by this virus. So when people are behaving so responsibly, it is unfair to ill-treat them. On the contrary, they need to be shown sympathy and cooperation. Social distancing is the most effective way of fighting against coronavirus. But we have to understand that social distancing does not mean ending social interaction. Actually, this is the time to give a new lease of life to all your existing social relationships, to energize these relationships. In a way, this time teaches us to reduce emotional distance and increase social distance. Yashvardhan from Kota has written on the Namo app that they are increasing family bonding during the lockdown. They are playing cricket and board games with kids, preparing new dishes in the kitchen. Nirupama Harsheya from Jabalpur writes on the Namo app that she finally got an opportunity to fulfill her wish to make a quilt. On top of that, she's also fulfilling her gardening hobby. I also happened to read the posts of Parikshit from Raipur, Aryaman from Gurugram and Suraj from Jharkhand, and they've discussed about having an e-reunion with their school friends. Their idea is very interesting. It's possible that you too might not have gotten a chance to talk to your school and college mates for decades. You too can try out this idea. Pratyush of Bhuvaneshwar and Vasudha of Kolkata have mentioned that they are reading books and that they had hitherto not been able to read. I also saw on social media that many people took out musical instruments like tabla and veena that were lying unused for years and started practicing on them. You too can do that. That will not only give you the joy of music, but also take you on a trip down the memory lane. In this crisis, you've got a rare opportunity to not only connect with yourself, but also with your passion. You will also get an opportunity to connect with your old friends and with your family. Shashi ji from Roorkee has asked me on the Namo app, what do I do for my fitness during the lockdown? How do I observe the Navratri fast in these circumstances? Let me reiterate that although I've urged you to avoid stepping out of your houses, I've also given you an opportunity to take a look inwards at yourself. This is your chance. Don't go out, but go inside. Try to know yourself. As far as the Navratri fast is concerned, that is between me and my faith and the Supreme Power. As regards fitness, I think that will be quite a lengthy topic. So what I'll do is, I'll upload some videos on this topic on the social media. You can surely see those videos on the Namo app. What I do possibly can aid and inspire some of you. But do remember that I am not a fitness expert. I am also not a yoga teacher. I am merely a practitioner. I do concede, however, that some yogasanas have greatly benefited me. It is possible that some of these tips might help you too during the lockdown. Friends, This battle against corona is unprecedented as well as challenging. Hence, the decisions being taken during this time are unheard of in the history of the world. The steps being taken by Indians to stop the spread of corona, the efforts that we are currently making, will ensure that India conquers this corona pandemic. The determination and restraint of each Indian will also aid in facing this crisis. In addition, our sympathy for the poor should also be far greater. Our humanity stems from the fact that whenever we see a poor or hungry person, we first try and feed him or her in this time of crisis. We should think of their needs, and India can do this. These are a part of our values and culture. My dear countrymen, today every Indian is confined to the home to ensure his or her own safety. But in the times to come, the very same Indian will tear down all walls on the road to our progress and take the country forward. Stay at home with your family. Be careful and safe. We need to win this battle. And we will win. We'll meet in Mann Ki Baat again next month. By then, we should have overcome this crisis. With this hope and this wish, I thank you all.